We are very fortunate to have Miguel Sousa, a lead expert in URBACT and an expert in the Urban Innovative Actions Program, as well as the Horizon Europe projects with us. Thank you for joining us, Miguel.
Thank you for the kind invitation.
We want to ask you to show some light for us on promoting skills and job in Europe. So if you want to just start us off with why you think and how you can elaborate on the challenge, especially for small and medium-sized cities.
The challenge for European cities today is to stimulate job creation, but at the same time to improve the added value and social and economic wealth produced by the jobs created. High Place project, for example, acts like a seeker of projects' outcomes and good practices to stimulate cities to rethink the resources they need to innovate and grow, to inspire and attract the whole range of talent, including from the farming, industry, social innovation, IT, artistic, creative, and human science areas. This is a complex challenge that cannot be addressed by traditional means. It's more than creating employment. It's about attracting and retain, adapt or convert talents into the present and future needs of the local economic and social fabric. The integration between the qualification of talents and the provision of an ecosystem that can attract and realize the potential of such talents is at the very core of European policies that intends to stimulate projects and innovate solutions in the next decade.
And it's very interesting that you refer to talent as the core element and how this talent would be managed. Do you want to elaborate for us on an integrated approach to talent management and how that can work for small cities?
Well, talent management requires a vertical and horizontal integration at city level. And the key lesson that is shared by all the projects is the need to have a strong partnership between the government, academia, R&D centers, social organizations and enterprises, where all stakeholders, including civil society, will be called to action. The European Skills Agenda includes 12 actions organized around 4 building blocks, being all of them an opportunity for cities to nurture talents. The European Skills Agenda includes 12 actions organized around 4 building blocks, being all of them an opportunity for cities to nurture talent. The new Skills Agenda introduced a totally new momentum focused on skilling for a job. It combines a European Pact for Skills, which brings together all stakeholders with a heavily increased EU budget, as proposed by the Commission, and ambitious quantitative objectives by 2025.
And this European New Skills Agenda seems to be a core element for small cities. Can you explain more about the EU's New Skills Agenda and how this will be the opportunity for small cities?
Well, it's a big opportunity for small cities. And the 5-year plan of the European Skills Agenda intends to help individuals and business to develop more and better skills and to put them to use by strengthening sustainable competitiveness, ensuring social fairness, and building resilience to react to crises. Based on the lessons learned during the COVID-19 pandemic situation, the role to play for cities in the New Skills Agenda is critical. And in what respects the contribution for stimulating collective action, mobilizing business, social partners and stakeholders to commit to working together, in particular within the EU industrial ecosystem and across value chains. To contribute for the definition of clear strategies to ensure that skills lead to jobs, to help citizens building their skills through life in an environment where lifelong learning is the norm, to facilitate access to significant financial means to invest in skills and to contribute for setting ambitious objectives for up and reskilling to be achieved within the next 5 years. In concrete, cities can assume a leading role for some of the 12 flagships of the Skills Agenda. The first one is the Pact for Skills. By mobilizing local ecosystems for more and better opportunities for people to train and to unlock public and private investments across industrial and skills ecosystem. The second one is strengthening skills intelligence by collecting and putting available real-time information on skills demand, including at regional and sectoral level, using big data analysis of job vacancies and making it widely available. The third one is about EU support for strategic rational upskilling action. Contribute to national skills strategies and joint forces with national public employment agencies to realize them. This can be coupled with a more strategic approach to legal migration oriented towards better attracting and keeping talent. Another one is the vocational education and training for sustainable competitiveness, social fairness and resilience, contributing for a fresh approach to make vocational education and training more modern, attractive for all learners, flexible and fit for the digital age and green transition. Another one is the rolling out the European Universities Initiative and upskilling scientists, engaging in the long-term alliances with higher educational institutions and pushing them to develop skills for researchers to solve societal challenges. Finally, the increasing STEAM graduates and fostering entrepreneurs and transversal skills develop the right conditions in terms of incubators, innovation hubs, experimental places, and others to encourage young people into science, technology engineering and maths, and to strengthen support for entrepreneurs and the acquisition of transversal skills like cooperation and critical thinking.
It's very interesting because, Miguel, the areas that you have highlighted from the skills agenda is very much also the areas where in this iPlace project people have identified at their local level which they can include in their action plans, and what you are suggesting here is can go further with the next 5-year plan for future investment, building on what they have already identified in the iPlace project. Thank you so much for that. But there's always this big question, and we always know that when people talk EU programs, then the word funding comes up. So there's always pressure on the municipalities and other local stakeholders to unlock investment for more jobs and to improve skills in their city. How do you see the European Union programs and the funding specifically that can help in this regard?
The opportunity, it's there. So the framework for funding for the next 7 years, it's known and it's available for cities to take advantage of that. To play an active role, cities' local authorities must develop capacity to unlock investment in skills. At national and EU level, public funds can act as a catalyst for investing in people skills. To implement the actions and meet the objectives of the skills agenda, local public funds need to be put in place. And this pays off. For example, €1 invested in up and reskilling returns at least €2 in revenues or savings. The Recovery and Resilience Facility, powered by more than €500 million in grants and loans, provides member states with ample opportunities to fund up and reskilling. Throughout the next 7 years period, the European Social Funds, with a proposed budget of €86 billion, will remain important for national up and reskilling activities. In addition, the proposed €24.6 billion of Erasmus will contribute to skills development and fund some of the actions outlined above, such as the European universities, the Centers of Vocational Excellence, and the blueprints for sectoral cooperation and skills. The European Regional Development Fund and InvestEU can further support member states' investments in high social impact infrastructure for education and training. In the context of the green transition, the Just Transition Fund, with a proposed total budget of €40 billion, will support the reskilling of workers. The public sector loan facility, expected to mobilize between €25 billion and €30 billion, can also invest in skills. So the saving of the European Globalization Adjustment Fund has been proposed to double to support training for workers and the self-employed who are made redundant in a mass industrial restructuring.
That is so good news. So it means that we can, at the local city level, initiate our plans given that there's a very good financial and funding framework available from the European Union. Finally, do you want to give us your own thoughts on how you see development of the jobs and skills at the places where people work and where they live? Not necessarily having to, for example, go to big cities to find these jobs.
What is interesting is that movers between jobs and young adults often decide on a community before they decide on a job. That is, they are attracted first by lifestyle and social vibrancy, and then they find jobs in the surrounding community. There is a kind of virtuous cycle, with business naturally being drawn to cultural activity and population growth, which serve to attract even more skilled people. City managers can work together with employers to setting up local offices in the most vibrant communities to seek for talent by creating environments, including workplaces, that are attractive to workers. Many people clearly value cultural diversity, a climate of openness to new ideas, a feeling of pride in place, and the chance to enjoy to certain kind of lifestyle, whether it's connected to outdoor sports, arts, entertainment, or other factors.
Thank you very much, Miguel. You gave us a bigger picture of skills and jobs development, which is gone beyond the old way of just trying to get the investment for jobs, and it's very useful for us as information. Thank you.
Thank you very much.